a little Fuente Maduro mini cigar. Fuente was one of my favorite cigars when I smoked cigars. Once upon a time. And I just got a load of Glenfiddich in from FedEx Home Delivery. Ludwig's Fine Wines and Spirits had a sale on Glenfiddich for a week. And I got 2 bottles of 18 and 2 bottles of the 15. So I got 4 bottles of Glenfiddich in today, so that'll last me about, I don't know, 6, 7 months. I drink about that much a week. Sometimes I might have 2 a week. I won't lie, sometimes I have 2 drams a week. Just got back from my afternoon walk with my little bitty buddy Gizmo. I decided to just, while I'm sitting out here not doing anything, I thought, why not make a video about whatever I think of. There's a lot of things in this world that kind of burns my butt. Like reckless drivers, people that cut you off, rude people, the government. What burns your butt? I guess that's the question for right now. What burns your butt? I'll try to think of some good ones. Recently, the post office burnt my butt a good one. I'm just listening to Sounds of Nature by The Secret Garden. Getting old burns my butt. When this old guy named Payne moved in with me about 15 years ago, I thought he would just visit me and move out. He packed his bags and moved in kind of permanent. Been here ever since. Can't get rid of him. So Mr. Payne is number 1 on my burn up my butt list. Mr. Payne caused me to lose my job, lose my way of earning a living, and a lot of other stuff. But I'm making the most of it. I'm still enjoying some things I like to do. Found new ways of doing without certain things, and just sitting here at home every day with my little buddy and talking to my favorite family, the YouTube Pipe family. I want y'all to know, guys and gals, y'all are really part of my family. I consider y'all a family. I mean, when I say, hello, YouTube Pipe family, that's really what I mean. I know a lot of people just refer to it as, hey, YouTubers, or hey, pipe presenters, or whatever, but I always say Pipe family. I'm glad to have y'all to where I can visit with y'all once in a while, talk to you, share what's on my heart, what's on my brain, and sometimes just sit out here and share nothing, just ramble like I'm doing now. Kind of warmed up since this morning. It was about, when I woke up, 28 degrees, and now it's up to 55. Can you believe it? It finally got warm. We're in a heat wave for sure. Y'all excuse me while I indulge myself in my senses. I think Glenfiddich is my favorite single malt Scotch. You know, in Scotland they spell whiskey W-H-I-S-K-Y. In Ireland they spell it W-H-I-S-K-E-Y, like we do over here in the States. You know why they did that? Because they didn't want their whiskey confused with Irish whiskey. See, Irish whiskey is made almost the same way as Scotch whiskey, only it's a lot milder in taste. They triple distill their whiskey and they do not use a smoked peat. And instead of using plain old pot stills, they use a different type of still. It looks like a giant smokestack. I won't go into all the details of it, but it just means that that type of still is the type of still they use for distilling vodka or rum and other raw spirits. So it can strip the flavors right out of a whiskey. A pot still will keep the flavors in the whiskey, and when they make whiskey, or when anybody really makes a whiskey, you're starting off with a beer mash. They call it a beer, and it's usually about 8 to 12% alcohol. That's about the same as beer, a little bit higher than store-bought beer. So, and when you distill it down, you get about 10% alcohol out of that mash content. So let's just say if you have 10 gallons of mash, you're going to get 10% out of that, which would be a gallon. It don't seem like a lot. You throw 90% of it away. Some people keep some back to make sour mash. And then they re-distill it or double distill it. They go to what they call high spirits or a spirit distilling operation, where it's distilled a second time, and that raises the alcohol level way up. Their first run usually only comes out about anywhere from 40 to 50, 60 proof. And the second distillation raises it up to about 140 proof, or 70%. And that's why they double distill it. In Ireland, they triple distill theirs. And every time you distill it, it's going to strip a little bit more flavor out of it. That's why Irish whiskey is a lot smoother to a lot of people. They're both made out of nothing but malt, barley malt. And that's it. Barley malt and water and a little yeast. That's what makes it. Scotland's Scotch is I'm trying to think of it, run by the country's laws that govern the production of all Scotch made in Scotland. And it has to be aged a minimum of, I believe it's 6 years. And they even state what it can and what it cannot contain in it to be Scotch. It cannot contain anything but barley malt and water and a little bit of yeast. That's it. If it contains anything else, they will not let them bottle it as Scotch. And there's a certain way that they not only have to distill it, but also how it's barreled. The size of the barrels are governed and everything else. But I'll tell you this, a lot of the big distilleries in Scotland, when you buy a single malt Scotch, it's going to taste about the same year after year after year. It's consistent. I just love Scotch. And I ain't talking about, mixed scotch or whatever. I'm talking about single malt. I know how I got onto this subject because I'm drinking scotch. 15-year-old Solera. It was on sale for $39, $36 a bottle. I got 2 of them. I quit smoking cigars over a year ago. Once a year, Arturo Fuente comes out with a cigar blend. It's called Anejo, A-N-E-J-O. And I believe in Spanish it means rested. And by that, it means it's aged. They age it a special way. It looks like a Maduro leaf, which it is. But it's aged in wooden barrels. I believe it's aged in whiskey barrels. Or, no, not whiskey. Doggone it. Can't think of it. Dang it. Anyway, it's aged in a used liquor barrel. And it's aged in there for over a year. They release that cigar once a year. And it's this time of year that they release it. It's very hard to find. If you get it from a Fuente dealer, you can pay a set price for it, not a price that's off the chart. Some unscrupulous people will buy them from an authorized Fuente dealer and then charge 4 times what retail is, up to about $30, $40 a cigar. Me, I will hunt for that cigar this time of year, and if I can find them, I will try to get a whole box full. That way, it'll last me quite a few months to go with some good old scotch. That cigar is just wonderful with the good old single malt. It's a very rich cigar, just full of mouthfeel, flavor. It's great. I don't know if you like that type of cigar, but it's a great cigar. I happened to find a box on sale, and I should have it in my hot little hands by November 27th. Some of the cigar stores have ordered theirs, and some of them will be getting those in next week. Those that are authorized Fuente dealers. If you happen to know where one is and you can get one, try it. You'll like it. If you like a heavy, full cigar. Now, I don't mean it's strong necessarily. I mean it's full of flavor. It's not one of those real light cigars. It's a smooth cigar, but it's full of flavor. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I guess that ends today's lesson on scotch and cigars. And a couple things that burns my butt, and whatever burns y'all's butt, and whatever y'all want to add to it, just put some comments down there. Let me know. So everybody else can read what y'all think, what y'all got to say. I guess that'll do it for now. The Real Batman said we'll catch y'all on the flip side next time. See y'all later. Y'all keep them lit. Have a good one.